Are you ready? Nak share? Boleh kan? Okay, so our tutorial today. Tutorial. So you all nampak tak the screen? Share screen.
Nampak, Doktor?
Okay. So you can download this tutorial. Okay, you can download from UFuture. So for tutorial 3, we have 4 questions. Question number 1, you need to answer based on your understanding, based on your observation. So do you think the selection of suitable parameter in AA is important to find an optimal solution? Yes or no? You agree or disagree? If agree, give the reason. Disagree, also give the reason. So you can refer article, or you can refer journal or any related article to answer this question, question number 1. Say you need to answer this question. Yep. Okay, so journal. Okay, to answer this question. And then second question, you need to download. You just go to Google, then copy and paste this, what we call this paragraph ni, this title, and then search, and then download the this article, and then you need to summarize based on this article ni. You need to summarize regarding parameter control ni applied. Okay, parameter control applied. So how? So give some brief what we call explanation about this article. Okay, and then number 3, briefly discuss the advantages and disadvantages of parameter tuning and parameter control. Parameter tuning, we discussed last class. Parameter tuning done by people or human manually, and then by experiment lah. Experiment, we need to run experiment 1, experiment 2, then we compare the result. Okay, then maybe experiment number 1 parameter we set 1, 2, 3, and then for experiment 2, maybe the parameter we change to 4, 5, 6, and so on. Then based on that parameter, we can compare the result. So based on the performance, based on accuracy, based on usually performance lah. Performance, we can, for example, we can compare like this. For example, this is experiment number 1, and this is experiment number 2. Okay, you think which one better, experiment 1 or experiment 2? Based on this graph ni, fitness function, and this one number of iteration. Okay, 1 or 2 better?
Experiment 1.
I choose 1 as well.
1, yeah, 1 better because conversion value kat sini kan, this conversion value, but the conversion value for experiment 2 here. So conversion value mean the answer experiment 1 faster compared to experiment 2. We get the answer. Okay, maybe because experiment number 1 maybe at iteration 20, but this one at iteration 80. So mean experiment number 1 better than experiment 2 based on parameter 1, 2, 3, and this one parameter 2, 3, 4. So parameter 1, 2, 3 we choose then we consider as the best parameter lah compared to others. So that one for parameter 1, 2, maybe we can continue to till at experiment 50. Experiment 50. So we have 50 set of result. So based on 50 set, so we can select the best result maybe at experiment number 8, for example. Depend. Okay, that one for parameter tuning. So tedious job, because we need to do orang kata apa? So many time. Okay, so many time. And then for parameter control, this parameter machine will manage. Okay, we develop the system, we develop the programming, and then that program will decide to what we call, or will propose. Okay, the system propose, or we decide lah, we determine the number of value of parameter ni. Okay, so but to implement more difficult compared to parameter tuning. Then you need to discuss the advantages and disadvantages for each type of parameter ni. Okay, also you need to download from article or journal, then discuss. And then the last question, discuss how population size could affect the feasible solution in traveling assessment problem. Size of population, for example, what happened, the size population big or small. What happened to the performance? What happened to the performance, the convergent value, for example. So you need to discuss. Clear? Any question that you want me to explain again or explain more?
I'm okay, sir.
You okay? Others?
Yes, same too, sir. Okay.
Okay kan? Very easy. Not easy lah, but you need to download, banyak kerja sikit lah, download and try to understand the article, and then you need to answer the question. So I hope you can manage, you can do. Then jangan tunggu last minute. So kalau you buat sekarang, then exam, masa nak exam, at least you can orang kata apa, easy for you lah to revision. Okay, revision. Taklah last minute baru nak faham. So now you try to understand, then if you not understand, you can WhatsApp or call me or ask me during class or tutorial. Tak semestinya today, maybe next week or following week. Okay, so bila-bila masa je. So you can ask me, insyaAllah. Lepas tu apa lagi? How about the PSO, particle swarm optimization, yesterday?
Masih study PSO, sir.
You tengah study?
This week is have too much work for FYP.
Oh, okay. So you for FYP you ada buat optimization tak? Siapa yang buat optimization? Ada?
Saya buat optimization.
Siapa dengan siapa? Syamimi
Saya dengan Dr. Marina.
Oh, Marina yang cakap hari tu kan, tajuk apa dah?
Saya punya tajuk optimization of purchasing habits.
Of what?
Purchasing habits.
Oh, purchasing habit. Okay. Purchasing habit. So you prefer using GA or PSO or what?
That one I still I'm trying to figure out lah which one is better, sebab right now kan still belajar lagi. So tak nampak keseluruhannya lagi. But from kata saya tengok sebelum ni ada yang guna kuku, firefly macam tu lah.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, so for PSO we discuss after break lah, tutorial. So today we just focus tutorial 3 AA, tuning parameter. So any question for tuning parameter? Tak ada? Ada soalan? Tak?
I
So
have no
far, okay.
questions for tutorial 3, but I have a few questions for the project.
Okay, project, no problem. Okay, can you ask me? We can discuss now.
My solo project and my group project is the same. Is that acceptable?
Same same area or same domain problem.
It's the same problem.
The same problem. So give me the title.
For my solo project, I'm going to do genetic algorithm in Flappy Bird. It's a game.
GA what?
Flappy Bird. It's a game.
Game. Okay,
Yes.
Game. Yang satu lagi?
And for the group project, it is also the same. It's just that I'm planning to make my own modification.
Okay, game but modified.
Yes, modify the
Okay,
parameters.
the first one, you need find journal, one article, you need find an article, and then you need to discuss about this topic lah for individual. Okay, no issue. Okay, clear.
Clear, Doctor.
But for group project, you need to develop. Okay, no problem, boleh. Because it's a different approach. This one development, but this one based on your understanding and based on article. So you need to discuss. For example, you need to discuss about what we call the fitness function. Okay, for this one, fitness function you must include, and then also you need to discuss the constraint. Maybe you have hard constraint and soft constraint kalau ada. Okay, based on this article, and then you need to discuss variable involved. Okay, and then you need to show me how they represent the problem. Okay, problem representation. And then the result, and then conclusion, and then just future work lah. If anything that you think can improve, so you can suggest or can propose future work. Okay, this one for individual. Clear? Clear or not?
Clear for me, sir.
But for development, this one, you need discuss same format, same thing, but you need to show the coding. This one kena ada coding. Show the coding and then show the system. And then the system no error during maksudnya presentation. So make sure that system no error. So okay, no problem.
Right. Thank you so much, Doctor.
But for individual, okay, no coding, no need to develop, no development. Just show the idea only, the theory part only. Yang lain? You can you differentiate the hard constraint and soft constraint? Boleh faham ke? Boleh beza? Hard and soft.
Clear on that, sir.
Not so sure.
Yes.
Okay, for example, I give you example. For hard constraint, for example, you develop timetable system. So hard constraint, for example, lecturer maximum subject can teach is 3 subject. This is hard constraint, not more 3 subject. And then lagi the lecturer maximum hours for teaching not more than 12 hours. This is hard constraint. Then soft constraint, this hard constraint mean you need mandatory, you need to follow this what we call this condition. And okay, and then another hard constraint, for example, lagi apa? For one class, not more than less than or equal to, for classroom BK1 for example, not less or more 30 student. Contohnya lah, 30 student. This is hard constraint. So you cannot exceed more than 30 for BK1. Kalau exceed, what happens? So cannot cater lah. Maksudnya not problem lah sebab student not enough seat. Okay, because BK just small room, not like a theater or dewan kuliah. Okay, this what we call hard constraint. You must mandatory, must follow. But soft constraint, for example, the lecture time not more than 6 PM. Contohnya. Tapi kalau orang kata apa, we can tolerate, maybe we can, tapi selalunya not more than 6 lah. Apalagi kalau soft constraint, like Friday, ataupun during lunch hour, usually 12 to 1, 12 to 2, no class kan? But sometimes we don't have orang kata apa, enough slot, so maybe this time we consider as a, we can allocate also lah, maksudnya we can consider as a slot time juga. That one consider, we can tolerate lah, soft constraint. But we prefer not, tapi kalau anything cannot manage, so we can consider can tolerate. But for BK this one cannot tolerate lah sebab not less than 30, that one mandatory. Macam tu. Clear?
I think I get it, sir.
Atau yang lain macam kalau TSP, the soft constraint, hard constraint occur only once. The city tu only once for TSP. This is hard constraint. But the soft constraint maybe usually tak ada soft constraint lah sebab very straightforward for TSP. Tapi kalau complex problem, so maybe we have soft constraint and hard constraint. Same like game. Kalau very straightforward, so no soft constraint. Usually just hard constraint only. Tapi kalau that game more complex, so maybe we should consider hard and soft. Depend on problem. Mean the hard tu you must follow 100%. You cannot tolerate. That one for hard constraint. But soft constraint, sometimes we can tolerate. Mean we no need to follow the constraint. But kalau hard constraint, walau macam mana pun you should follow the constraint. That hard constraint. Okay, so kalau you all tak ada soalan, I nak you all jawab ni, then submit your answer through YouFuture nanti. I discuss. Nanti I create forum, I create link, I create room, then you post your answer dekat sana. Boleh?
Boleh, sir.
Boleh, sir.
Okay, so sekarang ni I ada dekat depan komputer, so you can ask me. Sambil tu you buat ni lah tutorial 3. Ataupun you nak communicate macam through WhatsApp aja ke? Macam mana?
Both can. Dua-dua okay, sir.
Dua-dua okay. Okay lah, mana-mana lah. Kalau tak, I stop dulu Google Meet. Then kalau you need some explanation, I sambung balik Google Meet, okay? Kita stop dulu. Kalau nak explain lagi, then you ask me, then I on balik Google Meet. Alright?
Boleh sir.
Alright, sir.
Okay, bye. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Thank you, sir.